Greetings. We will discuss racism against blacks in America and exclusive control. When my great teacher mentioned exclusive control in his lectures, he used it as a term to express that which an individual or group has total control over, regardless of what external forces are doing. So, we will deal with exclusive control in regard to what blacks have total control over, regardless of what blatant racism, so-called psychological racism, economic racism, or any other brand of racism has done to us in the past, is doing to us presently, or plans on doing to us in the future. Let me make it crystal clear that we hold no opposition to any claims about what racism did to blacks in the past, is doing to us today, or plans on doing to us tomorrow. Again, we will focus on that which we can do something about, regardless of the influence of racism or white supremacy. So, what do we, blacks in America, have exclusive control over? We have exclusive control over the debris in our communities. We have exclusive control over whether we vandalize and burn unoccupied buildings in our communities. We have exclusive control over whether we use profanity and filthy language. We have exclusive control over whether we aid and abet or even look the other way when it comes to drug dealers, pimps, and other scourges to our communities. We have exclusive control over whether we invest interest in our children's academics and overall well-being. We have exclusive control over who we share intimacy with, how often we are intimate, and what intimacy activities we engage in. We have exclusive control over how much time we spend playing video games, out partying, consuming alcohol and marijuana, and on Facebook and Twitter. We have exclusive control over what foods we consume and how much we consume. We have exclusive control over whether we get up in the morning to go to work or look for work. We have exclusive control over how much time we spend with our elderly and disabled. We have exclusive control over whether we attempt to start our functions on time or attend them on time. We have exclusive control over how fast we drive and how loudly we blast our music in residential areas. We have exclusive control over how much television and movies we watch. We have exclusive control over how much emphasis we put on material possessions and keeping up with the Joneses. We have exclusive control over how much of our undergarments or skin we display in public. Now, this list is by no means exhaustive, but we trust the point resonates. Racism is similar to snow or rain falling. Snow and rain can certainly create a hazard, yet to the willing individual, neither snow nor rain will likely stop that individual from going where he or she strongly desires to go. I've seen nightclubs with lines around the corner on New Year's Eve when there was nearly a blizzard outside. I trust you follow my analogy. Let me remind you that we hold no opposition to any claims about the influence of racism or white supremacy on blacks in America. Please do not forget this. One of my greatest concerns about the frequent cries of racism is that it can be a crutch that may atrophy our will. In other words, screaming racism all of the time can cause us to continuously use excuses for everything we do and don't do, every failure or shortcoming. We certainly don't want to raise a generation of children who feel as though they are defeated by anything, particularly racism, before even making an effort. We certainly don't want to raise a generation of children who hate anyone, including their white teachers, white doctors, white supervisors, white relatives, and other noteworthy white individuals. I trust we can plainly see that teaching such to our youth would be extremely detrimental to them. My brothers and sisters, what difference does racism or white supremacy make to the individual who is unwilling to do what he has the power to do about that which is necessary for his own improvement? What difference does racism or white supremacy make to the individual who is unwilling to do what he has the power to do about that which is necessary for his own improvement? For he is already defeated. I hear very few, if any, speakers at all dealing with the will. What do we as black people individually or collectively will to do? With this in mind, let me pay tribute to a few remarkable blacks who, by exercising their individual will, didn't use racism, white supremacy, or anything at all as an excuse for not facing and overcoming their obstacles. Type in your YouTube search box, quote, "no arms, no legs for Buffalo Woman, no problem," end quote, and watch this beautiful black woman. I'm sure you've heard of 76-year-old former bodybuilder Ernestine Shepard. If you haven't, YouTube her. And you've got to see this one. Type, quote, "the boy who sees without eyes extraordinary people," end quote. This video will astonish you. Last but certainly not least, as an example of remarkable group work, read about the bus boycott of 1955. Brothers and sisters, you all know as well as I do that we are simply losing the battle within. It is Brother Osiris who keeps Brother Osiris down. Lauryn Hill, Michael Jackson, Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, and many others have expressed the same sentiment in one fashion or another. Now, let me close by reminding you that there are a great number of matters that we have exclusive control over. Brothers and sisters, imagine how much more improved our communities would be if we eliminated each of the matters listed, as well as numerous other matters we did not list. Keep in mind, every single matter listed can be eliminated despite racism. Poverty is no excuse for filth. Lack of education, frustration, or whatever upsets you is no excuse for vulgar language. And there is certainly no excuse for how much time we waste engaged in non-essential activities. Now, this is extremely important. Once we eliminate these matters that we have exclusive control over, we in effect defeat racism. How so? Because the goal of racism is to have our communities dilapidated, have us consumed by television and materialism, have us high and drunk all of the time, have us robbing and killing and selling poison to one another. Racism's effectiveness will be significantly diminished once we take care of these matters. Brothers and sisters, it is critical that we reach this realization. So, ask yourself, am I doing my intelligent best about that which I have exclusive control over? If your answer is no, I could be doing more to improve myself and my community, then let the excuses and scapegoats melt away and look no further than YOU for your improvement and the improvement of your community. I am busy working on me, my black brothers, my black sisters. Get busy working on you. Get busy working on you. Thank you for your time and consideration. Love and harmony, Brother Osiris.